So, Dr. Bilo, we talked to a specialist, Lisa Ramek, to identify what's the detail. How does that?
And why do we need details in general?
Details. And now we need to identify what kind of system are we going to use for the case we later going to sketch and investigate. So there are three types of system. We do have aluminium systems, stick systems. We do have timber stick systems, and we have stainless steel stick systems.
A post and beam facade or a stick system. Yeah. So there's many different words that fly around.
And we're going to do a drawing, which, as we learned, is a detail. And this is, say, the start. So we have to give it a name. And we have to give it a scale.
I usually put the name and the scale afterwards
1
because
to 2.
I may take 3 times and the others will be wasted. But sure, they will do it first time.
Didn't I educate you how to draw directly in one go? Absolutely.
Yeah, with a flawless, precisely.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we do it 1 to 2. So it's a half size. So we make it a 5 centimeter dimension. And I'm first going to draw an aluminium system. And this aluminium system needs to be somehow like this. Screw channel to be drawn. Oops. And then, because it's an extruded system, it has a certain dimension which we have to give to it. And then there's some sealant necessary.
Yep, the rubber gaskets.
The rubber gaskets, sealant necessary. Then there comes the insulated glass. Insulated glass, size works. Insulated glass. And another one.
This is a standard, just one cavity.
One cavity, insulated glass.
2 layers of glass. It's more like a symbol in here right now.
A rubber. Fixing the screw, which is necessary. And a cover cap. This is the aluminium version.
Yep.
Right, when we're going to draw the timber version, it's actually a stick system in the same setup.
Yeah, except the body of the load-bearing beam
is timber.
That's different materials, and the basics in here that encapsulates or is attached to the glass is almost the same. It's the same logic, same system often.
Same logic, same system. So what we actually see is we see an aluminium piece being fixed to the timber piece, which then contains all the gaskets, what is necessary. Then the glass finds the same position. And again, the rubber.
And then
fixing. We see the screw again in position. The glass continues. And the cover cap. So this is quite equal. And then the main load-bearing part is different.
Third would be steel.
Third would be steel. And in steel, we actually would say, okay, there's a piece of steel, which is actually, how is it made?
Yeah, they use steel sheets and they roll it in a continuous process, and they shape the profiles even with this little undercut geometry to grab onto out of one single sheet of steel. It's quite interesting. And then there's somewhere a weld bead that is polished on the outside you can't see, but it's almost like origami in a straight line.
And here we don't have an aluminium piece on top of the stainless steel because the stainless steel already allows to get it fixed. The glass finds again the same position, but the outer part, that's the interesting thing, again, is done in the same setup.
It's also aluminium, extruded aluminium.
As we do it with the extruded aluminium, finds the same setting. Oops. Glass, and of course the screw fixed in this way.
What's interesting is that with all the different materials, aluminium, wood, and steel, you can get them in the same dimensions. So 50 millimeters is the standard, I would say. There is smaller and wider ones, but even when changing the material, the width is the same. It gives a little bit more freedom in the beginning of the planning.
So you know it's 50 mil, and then you do something.
You can still decide which material for various purposes you pick.
Luckily, we have samples.
Ah,
So
wonderful.
this is the aluminium setting. And as we see, this is 1 to 2, this is 1 to 1. We see an aluminium profile, we see the gaskets, we see the fixing of the glass. This is the glass, and we see the cover cap. And then the screw, which actually goes into this screw channel as a setting. And you can have different cover caps, so I flip it, and you have a different cover cap. Just gives a different appearance from the outside.
Just make a half of it.
Yeah. And then the timber version, which is the next one, which is this one. So this is the timber setting, and we see it in the same general layout as before. I may move it so that they're lined up. So you see aluminium profile, which actually takes all the gaskets, the outer gaskets, the fixing, the cover cap, and the glass, and it's just different shapes of glass, which is what we see here. And
be aware, this is a piece of plexiglass for the demonstration ease of it, because it's not so sharp, it's not so brittle, it doesn't break. So for a demo version, they always use this piece of plexiglass. Later, we have a model where we can also show a double insulated glass in cut through, so it's a little bit more detailed then, but this is just a placeholder.
And this is the stainless steel version. Stainless steel version, we see it's a different geometry. So not the geometry which I actually drew, but say it's a different geometry, but works in the same setting. Then you see there's the gaskets. The cover cap is done in a different setup here as well. You can have it flush, or you can have it in this setting as you want. And that's again then different size of glass being positioned. So if you place it in the same situation, you actually see all the three of them, how they're made.
Yeah.
And put them aside. We also have a bigger mock-up which is this one, bigger mock-up which shows, okay, this is again the same geometry, and nicely it's actually the triple layered glass size which we see here. It's pretty much the same geometry, different type of cover cap, but in principle the same geometry. And you either have it as a triple glazing, or you have a double insulated glazing as a setting.
I should actually take the camera here, and then we film it a little bit closer here also.
Yeah.
Ah, perfect.
And
You can also show the desiccant here. You can see in the section.
Yeah. It's actually nice made mock-up. And what's also interesting is when we look at the side, you may take that as a picture as well. So you will see this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we see this. It's pretty much same setup, just that this is a bit more slender to allow a step between the post and the stick as a setting. And you also see this additional screw channel, which is for fixing. Different systems have different ways of getting this connection done. This system has a screw channel situation in here so that you're able to fix in here as a setting.
Later on, because I'm very interested in also sharing how this is attached to. There's differences between the wooden systems and the aluminium systems, the intersection in here, how to put them together. We actually could watch that with the experts, isn't it?
Yeah, we actually should go to companies manufacturing this kind of systems, and that's what we actually need to do now. So we need to see someone manufacturing timber, we need to see someone manufacturing aluminium, and we need to see someone manufacturing stainless steel.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, Dr. Bilo, let's go.
Here we go.